What's up everybody, it's Luke James, not the singer, and this is a review for Statik Selektah's album, What Goes Around. I gotta say, this is honestly a contender for hip hop album of the year. It's 20 tracks long, and there's not one song on it that's bad. It has a couple highs and lows, but you can expect that on any album, but it just flows from start to finish. Like, this is the most complete project I think that I've heard this year. There's some other projects I really like, Black History Project, Isaiah Rashad, Sylvia Demo, Pinata, Freddie Gibbs, and Madlib. Those are three of the more complete projects this year that I really enjoyed and I thought were top quality pretty much from start to finish. This album is up there with those. 20 tracks featuring all kinds of people. I mean, I don't usually look at my notes in my videos anymore. I try not to, but I have to with this one because it's 20 tracks. It's really long. All kinds of people on here. You got Joey Badass, Freddie Gibbs, Styles P, Talib Kweli, Action Bronson, Royce da 5'9", Black Thought, Snoop Dogg, Dilated Peoples, Absol, John Connor, Logic, etc., etc. That's not even everybody, but even just with that collection of names, you know that you're not going to get some bullshit rapping on this album. The lyricism is top notch. There's not really any deep content or messages really, but it's just an album of pure bars and pure spitting. So that is one of the best things about the album, but it's also one of the things that kind of takes away from it a bit because, like I always say in my reviews, I think that it's deep lyrical content and messages that really give an album longevity. I think this one will still have longevity, but where the bars more or less are just kind of like, you know, rapping about how I'm best rapper, just all bars. You know what I mean? If you listen to rap, you know what I mean when I say it's just all bars these guys are spitting. There's not a lot of deep stories. There is some of it, like on Alarm Clock, Logic tells his story, which is one of my favorite verses on there. Talks about, you know, not showing up for school, having problems with the principal, stuff that was going on with his family, different jobs that he worked. His verse on that song was really good. It's just him telling his story. That song is one of my favorites, actually. It also features Absol and John Connor, who, of course, they both come with the bars. Absol, his verse on that was just, that one verse was pretty much better than his whole These Days album to me, because I wasn't a huge fan of that album, even though it was pretty decent and unique, but, you know, it is what it is. John Connor, his verse on there, he kills it. Other great verses include Black Thought on the Imperial. And that song also features Action Bronson and Royce da 5'9", who also bring it. Action Bronson I'm not a huge fan of because I kind of find he just says weird shit in his raps, but he sounds good and he's fun to listen to a bit. Royce da 5'9", nobody questions his lyricism, he's always on point, but Black Thought's verse on that is crazy. One of the best verses. I mean, whenever you see Black Thought featured on a song, he always has crazy verses. Just his flows, his syllables, the shit that he's saying. Like, you got to bring up Rap Genius and really look at it to get what he's going on about. Pharoah Monch also had a really good verse on this album. I have to look up what this song was called. Down Like This, featuring Sheik Luch from The Lox and Crooked Eye. Pharoah Monch's verse again, like I said with Black Thought, is just incredible. Like, those are two MCs that whenever you see them on a song, you know that they're just going to kill shit. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm huge fans of theirs, but their lyrical ability is undeniable, and maybe I should be listening to more of their music just to get a feel for what's going on. But that's, you know, I could go on and on about the rappers. I listed some of the names. There's some other guys on here who I haven't really heard much of before, such as Sincere. Rex I've heard of, but I don't know too much of him. Ransom's been around for a while, but we don't hear a whole lot about him. JFK, Boldy James, Desi Hines. There's a couple guys on here who I'm not that familiar with, but they held their own. Like, every MC on here held their own, and they sounded great over the production, which I need to talk more about. Anyone familiar with Statik Selektah knows that he does a sort of golden era 90s boom bap sort of style, and that's what he has going on throughout these 20 tracks. There's a lot of horns, smooth jazziness, orchestral strings, just all kinds of stuff. Gospel samples, singing samples. He just puts it all together, and I can't imagine the amount of work that must go into making these beats because they're chopped and sampled perfectly, and there's DJ scratching on there if you're into that sort of thing. So the whole album just really has that classic sort of hip-hop feel. Solid, jazzy boom bap beats with hard drums and bars, bars, bars. I'll give this project a 4 out of 5. Like I said earlier, I think if it had some more, you know, deeper messages within the lyrics. I know they weren't going for that. This was supposed to be just straight up bars, MCs on beats. I know I sound like a hip-hop elitist right now, but you know what I mean. I mean, you look at the fact that it's the Statik Selektah album and you see the names featured, you know that that's the type of album it's going to be. But I think, you know, a little more depth into the lyrics as far as, you know, messages and storytelling and stuff. I think that would have added a bit more to this album. There is some of that on there, but for the most part it's a compilation. But this is how you do a compilation right. Unlike the DJ Mustard album that I just reviewed, which everything kind of sounds the same, the features are interchangeable, and it doesn't really work. This is great because everything flows together, but the songs still sound kind of different. Although I think for some people they might find it a little boring if they're not into just the basic hip-hop sound. Like if you're into more of the southern style and the crunk music, trap music, that sort of thing, even the drill scene, obviously this isn't for you. This isn't the type of thing, but if you appreciate just the golden era 90s hip-hop, if you're a hip-hop elitist, this is the shit you've been waiting for. I don't think Statik Selektah could have done that much better with it. It's not a perfect album. I don't know what would get a 5 out of 5 for me. Even a 4.5 out of 5 is going to be hard to hit. But this is the best album I think I've reviewed since I've come back within the past couple of months. So you definitely want to check this one out. Don't sleep on it. It's a smooth hip-hop golden era 90s feel, start to finish. Not a bad song on it. Statik Selektah, What Goes Around. Check it out. Definitely worth getting on iTunes, I would say. Definitely worth your money. Every song on there. You're not going to regret it at all. So I got some more reviews coming up. Thanks for watching this one. Check some of my old ones. Subscribe, like, comment, and let me know what you think. And there's more to come. I'm actually going to start doing some indie reviews, so we'll see how that goes. If you're interested, you can inquire at luke@redmattersite.com. That's site as an S-I-T-E. You can send me an email. Let me know a little bit about you, and if you're an independent artist, if you're interested in a review, I'll hit you up. Maybe we can make something happen. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.